I was drowning in debt. Here's how I finally got out. I remember the day it all came crashing down. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon, and I was sitting in my small apartment, surrounded by unopened envelopes. I already knew what was inside: overdue bills, loan statements, credit card balances that seemed to grow like weeds. But that day, I finally opened them all. The numbers didn't make sense. I was making money every month, yet somehow I had nothing to show for it. The truth hit me hard. I wasn't living, I was surviving, and I was drowning in debt. At first, I did what so many of us do. I avoided it. I told myself, next month will be better. I'll earn more. Things will turn around. But ignoring debt is like ignoring a leak in your roof. The longer you pretend it's not there, the bigger the damage becomes. The breaking point came when I got a call at work. It was a debt collector. Their voice was calm, almost polite, but to me it felt like the whole office could hear my shame. That was the day I said to myself, enough is enough. I can't keep living like this. The first step was the hardest. I had to face the truth. I sat down with a notebook and wrote out every single debt I owed. Credit cards, student loans, car payments, personal loans, even the small debts I had borrowed from friends. By the time I finished, the page looked like a mountain I could never climb. But here's the surprising part. For the first time in years, I felt relief. Because finally, I knew exactly what I was up against. Then I made a plan. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't complicated, it was simple and practical. I listed my debts from the smallest balance to the largest. I told myself, start small, build momentum. I focused on the smallest one first. I cut out takeout food, sold a few things I didn't need, and threw every extra dollar at that one debt. A few weeks later, it was gone. It wasn't a lot of money, but that small victory gave me energy. It proved to me that progress was possible. That's when I started attacking the others, one by one. Each payment felt like knocking down a domino. Slowly, the list got shorter. But let me be real with you, it wasn't easy. There were nights I stayed up late, wondering if I'd ever be free. There were moments when I felt like giving up, especially when unexpected bills came in. Car repairs, medical expenses, little emergencies that made me feel like I was back at square one. In those moments, I had to remind myself why I was doing this. Debt wasn't just numbers on paper. It was stress, anxiety, and a chain around my freedom. I wanted to breathe again. So, I doubled down. I picked up side hustles. I started freelancing, taking small online jobs, and even working weekends. Every extra dollar, no matter how small, went straight to my debt. I stopped caring about impressing people. I didn't need new clothes, the latest gadgets, or fancy nights out. What I needed was freedom. And slowly, things began to change. The balances went down. The calls stopped coming. My confidence started growing. It took me years. There were setbacks. There were months when progress felt slow. But I stayed consistent. One day at a time, one payment at a time. Then came the moment I'll never forget. I walked into my bank, made my final payment, and walked out debt-free. No more collectors. No more sleepless nights. No more fear of opening my mailbox. I can fully describe that feeling. It was like stepping out of a dark tunnel into sunlight. For the first time in my adult life, I felt like I owned my money, instead of money owning me. And here's the biggest lesson I learned. Debt isn't just about money. It's about habits. It's about mindset. It's about the decisions we make every single day. Getting out of debt doesn't happen overnight, but if you stay disciplined, consistent, and focused, you can write a new story for yourself. Today, my life looks completely different. I have an emergency fund. I save with purpose. I invest for the future. But the greatest change isn't in my bank account, it's in my peace of mind. If you're watching this and you're drowning in debt, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not stuck. You are not hopeless. And you are not alone. I was where you are. And if I could break free, so can you. Your story is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. One decision, one payment, one step at a time. That's all it takes to start moving toward freedom.